So there are some indulgent things and ways that we use water, but there are also some really serious new demands for water that we need to pay attention to. And the one I'd like to focus on, really the poster child, is ethanol use. Now, I don't have a dog on the fight on whether ethanol is a good or bad return on investment for the energy produced. You get into some complicated stuff. Instead, I will tell you this. U.S. energy policy has developed in utter disregard of the water implications of the policy. And this is classically the case of ethanol. It takes, in a plant that refines ethanol, it takes as much, even a new plant that recycles water, it takes as much as 4 gallons of water to refine 1 gallon of ethanol. So a 50 million gallon plant would basically be a 200 million gallons of water, and you can see they're dotted all over the country. But that turns out to be the drop in the bucket, because first you have to grow the corn. And corn's a very thirsty crop, and if you grow corn in a place like California or Colorado or Kansas, Nebraska, you're talking about 2,500 gallons of water to grow enough corn to refine 1 gallon of ethanol. Well, now you start to do the multiplication tables, and that's a lot of zeros at the end about how much water is involved in producing ethanol. And the latest energy phase to come along is fracking, and I expect you've heard a bit of that in the last few days. There are some very serious quality issues associated with the chemicals they use in fracking and also with the water that they pump back out. But I just want to concentrate on the water itself. It's not a lot of water per well as water goes. It's 5 million gallons. It's not a drop in the bucket, but compared to how much water farmers use, it's not much. The problem with fracking is a lot of it is going on in places that are already water stressed. So when you start to talk about new wells at 5 million gallons per pop, you start to exacerbate the tensions over water use that are already in place. But all of this is driven by our seemingly insatiable demand for energy. We just have to have energy and appliances and phones and computers and tablets and videos that we use. And this is a company that does that for us. And they need a heck of a lot of water. But you would never guess what company it is. It's Google. Google? Wait a minute, I thought they had that Mountain View campus with massage parlors and people that feed you sushi and stuff like that. Isn't that the job of being a Google employee? Well, that's the job of writing the code, but when you press that search button on your engine or you upload a piece of video, then what cranks up is this. It's what Google calls, it's the inside of that building. It's a server farm or a data center. So you've heard about the cloud? Well, where is the cloud? Well, it's not in the air. It's in these industrial buildings scattered all around the United States. There are tens of thousands of them, each of which can take as much energy as a decent-sized city. And our desire for 7 nines reliability to figure out what have the Kardashians been tweeting? Or do you know that 100 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube every minute? 100 hours. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The videos of your cat are not that interesting. So it takes a lot of energy to produce water, and it takes a lot of water to produce energy. In California, 1/5 of all of the electricity that's used is just moving pieces of water around and treating it. But we've paid no attention to how much energy we're using, where it comes from, and what its implications are.